Hey everybody, my name's Dustin, and in our last episode, I introduced you to one of the most extreme places Maranatha has ever worked over the past 6 decades. It's a place in Kenya called Eldoret, and if you didn't get a chance to watch that episode, we'll link to it below. Today though, I want to tell you about something else that happened on this same trip. Our well drilling crew found water here in the desert where the experts said there would be none. Some called it a modern-day miracle, but I gotta tell you, when it happened, I wasn't sure what to believe. Northern Kenya is inhabited by indigenous people of the Daasanach tribe. They survive here, even though there's no water flowing anywhere. After drilling a water well for the village of Watali, we headed to another village called Elbagosh. Here, I met a girl named Nakalea. She's around 14 years old and already married. Nakalea has been collecting water at this same riverbed for years, and she took me on her daily walk for water. When we got to the hole, she got to work scraping sand away, hoping water would seep up from underneath. This water isn't clean, but it's all she has. Of course, we were there to drill a well and hopefully change all of this for Nakalea and the village of Elbogosh. The problem was, experts from the US had used some pretty advanced techniques to look for underground water there, and they said there was nothing. The only place they thought there might be a slight chance of finding any water was in the dry riverbed the people already walked to each day. But the people told us stories of rare flash floods that would rush down this riverbed, sweeping people away and destroying anything in their path. They wanted us to drill near the village at the Adventist church that Maranatha had built. Well, we said a prayer and we decided to try next to the church. The team set up to work for 2 hard days of drilling, and despite that geological report, we hit water at Elbogosh. Nakalea would have clean, accessible water without having to scoop sand each day. It was an amazing moment of celebration for the people and for our crew. Everyone that was there was so excited. But there was a slight disappointment. We found out that although there was water coming up out of the hole, the water was salty. Much of the groundwater near Lake Turkana, which is a salty lake itself, is salty. And of course, that water would still be welcomed for bathing, hygiene, cooking, and even for watering animals if they would drink it. But there was a certain degree of disappointment that it wasn't completely sweet. Well, Maranatha's president, Don Noble, was there in Eldoret with me, and I asked him in an on-camera interview how he was feeling about the whole situation.
So this is not without impact, even if it stays salty. I mean, you can read the Bible and you can see that God can change the salty water to pure if that's his will, but it's got to have to be done for his glory, and then it's obvious that he did it. That's what I think. And I don't know if that'll happen or how it'll happen. It's an ongoing story.
So Don says this, and I'm a positive person, but I was preparing myself for the reality, It'd be great if every well drilling situation turns out perfect, but once in a while, either we just don't hit water at all or the water is salty. It happens. But just a couple hours later, we got word that the water at Elbagosh had turned from salty to sweet.
Earlier this morning, I said that the water here at Elbogosh in northern Kenya was going to be salty, or probably salty. But we come out here today and we find out that the water is pure, drinkable, and we are excited. They have about 13 gallons a minute, which is more than what they need. And these people are excited, we're excited, pure water.
To be transparent, I didn't really believe it at first. How does water go from being salty to sweet? Didn't make any sense. Then I remembered what Don had said about God turning bitter water into sweet water for the children of Israel in the desert. I mean, why couldn't have God have worked another miracle, a modern-day miracle for the Daasanach people in this desert in Kenya? If there wasn't supposed to be water here in the first place, something else happened. My best guess, God was with us there in Elbagosh. This new well that wasn't supposed to produce anything and is now producing pure, sweet water, life-changing for Nakalea and the village of Elbagosh. No more time-consuming walks, no more heavy jugs to carry, no more dirty water. It was life-changing for the people, but it was life-changing for me too. It was a day where I saw God working for the good. If you enjoyed this episode, like and leave a comment below. I'm going to have one more story from this expedition to Ileret still to come, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you want to learn more about Maranatha's work, visit our website, which I'll list below. Thanks for watching.